Hello and welcome to another Plate Stack chat with myself, Jason, or Jason Fitness Media on the socials. As always, a quick thank you to Strivey for their support. Hopefully you've had a chance to visit their page or download the app and see some of the incredible features that it has. On the show today, we have another incredible athlete I had the pleasure of meeting recently, but now making her first appearance on the show. She is a former gymnast, so no surprise that she's taken on the role of a bodyweight specialist in Grid League. This was her third year on the grid. She did have a year off, but she has swapped the Venom Purple for Breakers White, and that has resulted in her also making it to the playoffs for the first time this season. Please welcome the talented Sabrina Cheney.
Hi.
Hi, Sabrina. So, third year, but you've been around grid for 4 years, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
2022 was my first year. So the first year with Venom was their first season ever. So that was my first season ever as well. And then next year with them, year off, and came back stronger than ever.
Stronger than, well, absolutely. Now, you told me somebody would be in the chat.
I did tell you she was going to hop on.
And here she is. So, yeah.
Biggest fan.
Biggest fan.
One of my biggest fans.
One of your biggest fans. Small in stature, but biggest fan.
Yes. We might not be moving those strong weights, but she's still my biggest fan.
Oh, well, she is on a mission to move those strong weights. That's all I'm seeing these days. Speaking of, I mean, I've seen a lot of what Billy's doing, and it's basically running or picking up heavy weights, and just she's desperate to clear the ladder. I know that's all it is. I know that. I'm curious about you though, because, well, first of all, we pushed the show back half an hour because you're in a different time zone.
Yes.
So where are you?
I'm in Auburn right now. I'm just here training beach brawl. I'm doing my first CrossFit comp ever. So starting small.
It's your first CrossFit comp ever?
Ever, yes. Wow. Yep. I went from gymnastics to grid, nothing else. So yeah, it's definitely to be different. I'm excited. So I'm doing it on a team. So it's not just me, not just solo going out there. So our team was kind of practicing a little bit, but then I'm going to head home and then we'll go to Panama City, which is next weekend.
Yeah. Busy. Like, how quickly did you get back into training then? Obviously you had this coming up, so you would have known about that in advance, but it was interesting. It's been interesting talking to different players that were doing the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because it was sort of different approaches of like, oh yes, I absolutely had to have a week off. And I'm like, week off? I'm pretty sure I saw you.
Yeah. Was it a real week off, or did you like run and that was your off?
Oh no, they told me just not to go too heavy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but I guess all things are relative, but those weights looked pretty heavy to me. What about you? Did you take some time off, or were you like just changing your training up because you need to be more CrossFit-y than gymnastic-y?
I definitely took a couple of days off. Just with traveling and the season ending, emotions were high, taking a couple of days, reset my mind. Okay, now we're doing this comp. It's different. There's strategy more than us going out there doing our assignment and it being as fast as possible. I'm kind of learning like, oh, well, you have to actually pace yourself in these workouts a little bit more. So that's something I've been trying to learn. So I really only took a couple of days off, jumped into more of those movements. Luckily, a lot of these movements are gymnasty. So I'm still doing muscle ups, still doing handstand walks, still doing toes to bar. So it was actually kind of convenient because a lot of it I had been already training and doing a lot of. So nothing too out of the blue, but a couple of days. But for me, I don't know how to rest too long. After 4 days, I get antsy. I got to work out. I got to do something.
Yeah, I wish I felt that way. I really wish. I don't know. I went to grid. I saw you guys. Was incredible. Yeah. Usually I go to events and it really, I'm back in the gym straight away. I'm like, because especially if it's like a 2-day event and I'm there for 2 days and I'm just watching everybody, and I don't get to do any workouts. I mean, even when they've had like, staff workouts and things like that, I've usually still been filming stuff or talking to people. I was like, that's the moment when I remember I was at one competition that and they're like, oh, and we've got this person coming in and they're going to run the team workout. And it was, and everyone was like, oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And then I had to go and help them film the briefing for the next day, all the workouts. So everyone else got to go and do the workout, and I'm like, oh, I'm just over here filming. So I never get to work out. I usually come back and then I'm like, okay, that's it. Yes, I'm back in the gym and I'm gonna train and get fit again. And just life has been so hectic trying to catch up on everything because I went away.
Because you left.
That I just well, because I left after I went family holiday, and then left my family down on the South Coast.
Okay.
And then I came back on my own so I could do a few days of work before then flying to Orlando.
Oh, wow.
So it was like
all over.
Yeah. So it was kind of a holiday into the grid.
Yeah.
And then coming back and being like, oh, there's a lot of stuff you neglected.
Yeah.
So
But
as you saw, I trained today. So, let's tick that box off.
Hey,
it was all cardio.
Yeah. Oh, love some cardio. Like cardio better than strength, but we're working on the strength side.
You're working on that. So how did you? Let's take let's do a little journey.
Okay.
A little journey, Sabrina. I'm excited. So where were you born? No, that's we don't need to go that far back.
So back 2000.
Yeah. 2000.
25.
So young.
You're so old now.
Oh, I just had a little so I do like the podcast for the box. She's just a baby. Yeah. And I remember interviewing one of our coaches at the box, or like one of the new coaches, and she was still at uni, obviously, and like coaching weightlifting as well and stuff like that. Anyway, I was interviewing her about her sort of history in sport and all of that, and she was like a rugby player and she did this and that, and they said, oh, of course. And then like COVID hit and we went into lockdown, and that's when I started training CrossFit at home because I wanted to do something different. And I could not believe. I was, well, hold on, what? Wait, you were still a child when COVID hit. And I'm like, COVID's that thing that happened when we were all really old, right? Like when we already had lived a life. And then I realized, oh, I'm old now. I'm officially old, Sabrina. I'm officially old.
You look great for being old.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But yeah. Very exciting.
But yeah, I had COVID was when I was in college.
Oh, COVID was when we'd had our second child. Because I remember going into COVID, going into lockdown.
Yeah.
And my daughter couldn't walk. She was she was 1 when we went in, and we came out of lockdown and she could walk.
Wow.
That was my sort of experience of that. So
it's not a bad experience.
No, it's not. But but yeah, in college, honestly. Okay. We could have gone all the way back to the beginning then. It wouldn't have been that far. We've got time. We've got plenty of time to do it. What I was curious about is how you moved from gymnastics to grid. Or even, I guess you started gymnastics early, I suppose.
I was 3.
Yeah. What was that, 5 years ago? How far back are we going?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Okay. So how come you what sort of forced the change?
So I did gymnastics here in Auburn for 3 years. My last season, I didn't end up doing it. But I had kind of started dabbling in CrossFit a little bit / Olympic weightlifting, kind of 2019 a little bit. But then when COVID hit, I really got into CrossFit more because our season ended early. So it was kind of like our season ended, and then so we were actually on our way to a comp. We were leaving, packing up the bus, and they're like, hey, school might shut down. And we're like, what do you mean? We're all ready. The bus is packed. We're leaving. They're like, no, we got to wait. So I waited an hour or so. Anyway, season got canceled. 3 days, we got sent home. So it's kind of a little wild ride, training for season, being in season, and then it being cut. So I found a gym and just started working out, doing more CrossFit movements. CrossFit, it kind of came about more because of like strength training and gymnastics is kind of where I got involved a little bit with that more. But that's kind of when I really got into CrossFit was COVID. And then gymnastics ended. And then right with gymnastics, I had known the owner at the time who was making a grid team. So they kind of recruited me because I was a gymnast, and that would be the Venom. So they kind of recruited me knowing that I had a gymnastics background. I did gymnastics, and that's kind of how I got involved in a grid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to do the trials or anything like that. They just scooped you up.
I got lucky. I knew someone that knew someone, you know. Sometimes you get a little lucky there with that. But I was grateful that that kind of came about because, you know, gymnastics was ending, and I was like, well, kind of what do I do now? Do I do CrossFit? Do I start lifting? Do I train for anything? Do I just focus on my career? So it was a little bit kind of up in the air, and like getting that offer was definitely kind of like a steer into a different direction, but helpful for me. So, okay, I can change my focus to this now because I don't think I would have ever stopped working out. So having that kind of helped, I think, transition a little bit out of gymnastics and into something different.
How was it for you? Because obviously gymnastics is quite rigid in how skills are performed. Does that, you know, like you're literally marked on how close to their metric of perfection you are doing the movement, right? And then you go to something like grid where it's even the gymnastics movements are sort of the same as like weightlifting movements in CrossFit and things like that, where you kind of have your start position and your finish position.
Right.
And it's like, as long as you've sort of done the movement and you've gone from that start to that finish, we're all good here. So how was it for you, like coming in from your gymnastics background, and then they're like, okay, this is the movement that needs to be done, and you maybe get to see like a number of different sort of variations, because you've got people that have, you know, come from a CrossFit background, but they're doing it. You've got you that you've come from a gymnastics background, you're doing it. Is that like weird or good, or like how do you kind of, what was your experience kind of getting onto the grid and being like, okay,
it's definitely different for sure. You know, starting doing handstand walks and stuff, it's like, oh, your toes need to be pointed and your feet need to be together. But then going in the grid, it was like, obviously you didn't have to do that. That's not something you had to do. Like your toes don't need to be pointed. You
just have to be fast. That's what you got to do.
You just need to move faster. If your legs are bent, that's fine. If they're flailing, that's fine. So definitely an adjustment that I had to do with certain movements. I like and I don't like, you know, every movement has standards, and I'm going to be biased because I was a D1 athlete. I was a gymnast. So I'll say it. I've told the league. The aerials.
Right. Here we go. Hold on.
The aerials.
You love the aerials.
That's obviously one of my favorite things. But you know, for gymnastics, an aerial is an aerial.
Yeah.
A front flip is a front flip. A back flip is a back flip. And if you have somebody doing an aerial is what it says, but the standards are take off one foot, land on one foot, and somebody's doing that in a front flip form, that's not an aerial. So I got a little bit, think some things need to be changed in that aspect. So I was like, well, don't call it an aerial if it's not an aerial, because in gymnastics, this is an aerial. That's a front toss.
Front toss, is that what it's called?
Front toss, yes. There are some people who would do front tosses, or I don't even know what it's called that they do in like jiu-jitsu or karate, where they swing a gainer.
Yes. I've seen that in my okay, Arthur's not in the chat, so we might not be listening, but in my hunt to try and beat Arthur in the first one of us to get a backflip, watched a lot of videos. I think I've seen people like, oh, and this is another variation where you can do it with like one foot and spring into it, kind of thing. And call it a gainer. But even that, I remember going to a gymnastics gym at 2 in my mission. I've still yet to succeed. But even I noticed they don't even call it a backflip. No, it's a back tuck, right?
If you do, like, if your knees are bent, it's a back tuck. If you go off one foot, it's a gainer. If your legs are straight, back pike, back layout, you know. So me being very critiquing everything when there's a movement, what it's called, and that's not what you have to do necessarily because of the standards, which I don't love, don't hate.
Which I guess is like if it doesn't change anything, it doesn't really matter. But if it's quicker to do that other thing,
Yeah,
because it's just like a tighter range of motion,
right.
let's say, then it's frustrating, right? Because you're like, well, I'm doing
Yeah,
the standard of what I would consider that movement to be,
right. What
and
that
that
movement
means I'm slower because
is.
I'm
Right.
doing it properly.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be like somebody, power cleaning every movement when it's written clean,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, it just says clean, and you're like, yeah, but when it's, there's no such thing as a squat clean. That doesn't exist. There's a
Exactly.
clean and there's a power clean. And if they're, oh, well, they just wrote clean, so I did all power cleans because
Yeah.
that's a type of clean, you'd be like, well, no.
Right. And like,
and that was faster, and that's not
yeah.
fair. I kind of get that. Yeah. Let's just see. So obviously we've had Eric in the chat. Corey is here as well. He says all this gymnastics talk is getting me hot and bothered. And look, he's doing a handstand in his profile picture right there. So there you go. Masters athlete, handstand magician. His toes aren't pointed, but we won't duck points from him for that. Because that's the other thing, is it feels like sometimes, and this might, I might be wrong. Feel free to jump in and correct me immediately. But I think when you are precise with the movements to the like gymnastic standard,
Yeah.
often it's slower. Like very often it's like, and handstand is a great example.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the most perfect, beautiful handstands I've ever seen are always the slower ones. They look amazing and they're so straight. And then you've got somebody and they're like, their legs are just, and they're just,
they move. Yeah.
they're basically falling forwards and their hands are running faster than their feet.
Exactly.
And that's how they get across.
Yep.
And you're like, and then I guess they run into problems when you start having to do like pirouettes and things like that. So that's we're starting to see like a leveling out.
Yeah. No,
but
for sure.
but
It
still,
definitely,
but still.
I agree. It's definitely faster when, as long as you can get kind of that momentum and you're not, you're not flailing or you're not falling over. So some people, no toes pointed. I was trying not to fall over in that.
And then he said that's precisely what I was trying to do.
You're not thinking about pointing your toes. That's valid. But that was just something that I had grown up in. But it's definitely faster. I think I kind of learned how to kick my feet with the rhythm of my hands. So like I kind of refer that back to as when you're pumping your arms and when you're sprinting, like the faster usually it kind of speeds you up. So I tried to learn it that way. Definitely. I think if you go back and watch like my first season of Venom, I think like I was still trying to walk with my feet together and I was like, I don't have to do that.
No.
Yeah. So
I'm curious. Okay, I've got two thoughts at the moment. One is you're basically wanting to do a Tom Cruise run on your hands with the kind of really pumping thing. That's all I could think when you were doing that. But the more serious what I had was, I'm assuming you've got friends that were, doing gymnastics with you.
Yeah.
You're a lovely, friendly person. I'm assuming you're still friends with these people.
Yeah.
That's good. Do they see you doing grid?
Yeah.
And do they have any thoughts about like what they see you doing? Are they saying what's happened to your handstands? What's going on with your legs?
Well, they kind of, a lot of like the people like that I'm, still talking to and whatnot, they kind of got into CrossFit a little bit themselves too. So I think with gymnastics, it's like, well, what do we like? We've done this our whole lives. Like we still need to work out. We still, but I've had a lot of friends be like, whoa, dude, like, what are you doing? What is this? Like, so I think it's kind of cool. I get to kind of help other people experience what grid is, because before I had even gotten asked, hey, do you want to do grid? What's grid?
Yeah.
I had no idea what grid was. So again, like I had got lucky in that sense, but it's kind of cool being able to like get other people involved and have like other sports and like getting grid out there more. Cause I even had a friend who's a gymnast like, hey, like, do you think I could get involved with grid? And I'm like, yeah, why not? Like we have a lot of the movements already. We just have to learn other ways around. Like you said before, those nice perfect handstands do help with those pirouette complexes that they wanted to add this season.
Yeah.
So that was definitely helpful, being able to, do pirouettes through gymnastics and stuff.
Yeah, you want it to be a choice. I've got that skill. It's in my pocket. I can use it when I need to,
Yeah.
but I don't have to. You should have just stopped at, I assume you have friends. I mean, I know she has friends. I've met some of your friends. I wondered if you still had gymnastics friends.
Right.
I also forgot to say, Eric Cardona is in the chat, and obviously, I don't know if you've heard the news, but the Lions have some new owners,
New
and
owners.
so now it's Big Boss Cardona is in the chat.
Oh,
This is interesting.
I know.
So those friends you've got that are good at gymnastics,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
if the Lions are looking. So but this is an interesting point. Something I was going to ask a bit later, but I'll get to it now as I've brought up the Lions. The Wolves have been announcing since,
Yeah.
literally the
Yeah.
Sharks have won the championships. Wonderful, great. Now we can start announcing our players, and so
Right.
they've been announcing lots of players.
Yes.
I hadn't seen other teams doing that
Mm-hmm.
until the Lions started with, first of all, here's our new owners,
New owners.
and then we started seeing players re-signed.
Right.
Do you know if we're going to start seeing any announcements from the Breakers about the re-signing of players anytime soon?
I think we will. We've had people re-sign already. We just haven't started announcing all that yet.
Now, when you say we've had people re-sign already,
Mm-hmm.
should I insinuate from that you are one of the people that has re-signed already?
I'm gonna play again, but I have not signed mine yet. So I'll just give you the
Eric's
tea.
just shooting a message over right now.
I know. It was kind of cool. We all had little meetings after season was over. We had end of the season meetings one-on-one with our coaches and stuff. So I was just kind of waiting with that, but they have sent all of our LOIs out, and I won't leave the Breakers. I'll say that. If I'm not on the Breakers, I'm not there at all.
Okay, hold on. Let's unpack these statements. So I am going to play again, I think was one of the statements.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving the Breakers.
No.
I've not signed my thing. Now,
yes.
I was going to say historically, it's a short history, but you did do 2 years on, have a year off.
I did.
So potentially this could be are we having a year off to come back stronger? I know you've got your studies, your career, things like that you're doing. So if we don't see you on the grid, we're assuming it's for that. And then we're assuming a super return. I mean, if we just follow the trajectory, you played for the Venoms.
Mm-hmm.
That you could only. Did you only ever beat the Breakers? No. Did they?
We beat them once. So we beat them my first season.
Yeah.
The second season they had beaten us.
Yeah. Okay. And then you had a year off, and you came back so fresh.
Yeah.
You were able to get a team all the way to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if you took another year off, should we expect that when you return, it's like championship team?
I think we had a championship team this year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I do. I think if we had hit everything the way we needed to hit, sorry, Cardona, but I think we would have beaten the Lions. I've got to say it. We definitely had some mistakes that came out with strategy, with just fatigue. Sometimes I think people underestimate grit itself and the adrenaline and how much more that takes a toll too. But I took the year off more because of school. That's when I had gotten occupational therapy school. So that's what I'm working for, get my doctorate in occupational therapy. So I kind of was a little worried about how that was going to work out and how I'd be able to do grid with that. Now I've done gymnastics my whole life with school, of course, but that was a little bit of a factor on top of me leaving Venom and kind of figuring out what I was going to do in that sense.
Okay. It's interesting because sorry, so we mentioned his name earlier, so now he's appeared. Now he'll
Yep.
go back and look for that. And I was thinking to say when we were talking about you signing or not signing, I was like, oh no, I forgot that your biggest fan is in the chat. So
Her boo, assuming.
yeah, but yeah, she'll know. She'll be fine. She'll get over this.
Yeah.
It's so there was. So it's an interesting thing with the Breakers this season, and the Venoms.
Yeah.
And I think it was interesting. I'm a little biased, but the Breakers are better than her old team. Well, the interesting thing is that, like, the only team the Breakers had ever beaten were the Venom. And then this year, they bolstered their ranks by adding players from the Venom, which sounds like that should make you almost a worse team, because you're like, well, the only team we've been able to beat is this team.
Right.
And then we've brought some of their players on, and somehow that made it a great team. As you said, potentially a championship team. Unfortunately, you didn't get the championship, so we can't say it was a championship team, but it was definitely a team that held its own in the playoffs. And I think that's, as much as you can ask, like at that stage, right? Now, obviously, there was a bit of drama around all of that.
Yep.
And you having been on the Venoms before and now being on the Breakers, and I guess if people don't know that you had that year off, was there sort of you were all part of that kind of drama as well, even though I mean, were you? I don't think you were, because you weren't. I feel like that all kind of happened last year.
Last year was definitely the majority of the drama. I was happy not to be involved in all of that, but I knew about all of that. Everybody was,
as I said, you have friends.
I do, and those friends are now on the Breakers with me.
Right.
So, but yes, I did hear about all that. Luckily, I wasn't too wrapped up in much of it, but honestly, another part of me taking that year off was just because of a lot of the drama on Venom previously. I mean, I would say part of it was we had a lot of big egos, and there was bickering, and this should be switched and this should be changed. And for me, getting assignments and having your assignment on, the day of the match, but then I'll just say there's times where, coaches got to switch things. Things got to be switched up. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody isn't feeling great that day. Perfectly fine. But, when you expect, okay, like I'm going to be in the majority of a match, and then it's like, hey, actually, we're taking you out. We're going to put her in. Or, hey, we're taking him out. We're putting him in. Like, you've been training all of this. You were thinking you were going to do 6 things and you're doing 2. I was like, why? Favoritism better. I don't know. I'll let you decide. I don't dive too much into that. But yeah.
Up until that point, I was like, I think it's fine what she's like, things change, and sometimes people were disappointed that they had like that. That's fair enough. That's a fair enough statement. That's not too controversial, that I don't see anybody can get upset about. And then that final sentence, I was like, oh, okay, there we go. That'll do it.
A little bit.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, because speaking with a lot of teams and a lot of players and coaches and owners and that, there's a whole kind of this idea of like, we say it with CrossFit all the time, that you have to leave your ego at the door when you go into CrossFit. When you go into grid, it's like even more so, because everyone is good.
Right.
You can do something, someone else can do that thing. And obviously you have a bit of strategy and how many races someone's going to do. And it's like, you might be faster than them when it's just go in fresh, one against the other, you're faster. But, this movement is showing up towards the end of the match. You will already have done 4 other races. They won't have. So theoretically, they might actually be faster than you.
Yeah.
Because they're fresh. So like, obviously there is some nuance. So it's not always just who is the fastest at this movement. They're going to do it.
Exactly.
But generally speaking, like, that's how the decisions are made, right? It's just who is the best at this, who is the fastest. If you want
Yeah.
to do this part of the race, great, you've got to be the fastest one.
Yeah.
That's
Are you the best?
that. Yeah, and everybody is just WhatsApping their times, sending in
Right.
videos, sending in this, and that's sort of how decisions are made.
Yeah.
Which I guess means if people do change that, it's you've got all the data to be
Yeah.
like, well, hold on,
Right.
this doesn't make sense, right? Like, I don't understand, why would we make this change if I can just look on a spreadsheet and see that, maybe I'm the fastest at this
Yeah.
person's the second fastest, you're putting in the person who's third or fourth,
Mm-hmm.
I need that justified.
Yeah. No,
Which
exactly.
I guess it's kind of coach's prerogative of saying, well, I don't have to I don't have to justify myself to you, but then it's also the athlete, that can
Yeah.
then be
Mm-hmm.
upset about that. Why not? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I had
That's
that
why I'm not on a
conversation
team.
actually with
Did you?
with our coaches. I did ask them why a lot, and there are coaches that are, why are you second guessing me? Why,
Right.
like, do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? You think I don't know, like, what's best? And it's like, no, for me, like, like you said, I like to know why. And I had communicated that with my coaches in advance. So it was like really awesome to be able to talk with them like throughout the year. Well, why are we doing this? Oh, we're doing this because this, and this. Oh, like that makes sense. So like for me, it was kind of cool because it was almost like a learning experience, kind of maybe shifting into a bigger role on the team rather than just being a player. But being able to see that aspect and that strategy and being able to kind of learn from them. Whereas, other coaches might not be as open to that. And it's just, well, that's what we're doing. So.
Oh, hot takes from Arthur here. If coaches can't justify the why of a decision, they need to reevaluate how and why they're coaching.
I think that's valid.
Yeah.
I
I think
think
that's
that's
why I feel like Arthur is another one who is, and even speaking with Briley, I got this impression that Arthur is another one who's sort of slipping into that role of a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more of like helping other players and not necessarily coaching. Maybe that's, a few steps down the line, but he's very much a stats guy. So he's going to know not only who's the fastest on his team, but who's the fastest on every other team and who you should be going against. So
right.
that's so are you, because this is one kind of question I love asking the grid players because the answers are always quite different, but are you very across the board on the rules, how grid works, all the kind of, not just like the movement standards you need to worry about, but also substitution rules, how many, but because I was amazed, I think it happened twice during the playoffs and the championships that we had players that shouldn't have been played.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, this is
Yeah.
this is like the last day of the season. We should have got this locked
No,
down by now. What's going on? Yeah.
yeah. No, it's hard. There's definitely a lot to it, way more than you think there is. Like even my first season, second season, I was still trying to learn. I'm like, wait, we can't substitute this person out, but we can do the still on year 2. So I think no matter what, I feel like I'm still learning all of the strategies and everything. I feel like this season I was a lot better. I'd try to know almost everybody else's assignments rather than just mine. So like going into it, I knew what everybody was doing. We have our sheets, we had what everybody was doing, ladder, everything. So like I was someone that I could be like, hey, like you're doing this, like, you're going out, you're involved. You're like, oh wait, how many was this? Wait, what bar was I supposed to hit? It was like, oh, you this, and this. So it was kind of cool to be able to do that. But as of remembering every rule ever, I'm still working on that with the subs and stuff. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you're like, that's there's certain things you'll be like, that's for strength specialists. I don't need to know about that. That doesn't affect me. I don't need to know how to throw the sandbag down the thing and where you got it. Not important. Not important.
No,
Not important.
just running my hands a little bit. We'll be good.
Yeah. Oh, we talked recently about like different ringer ideas.
Mhm.
I love it, and particularly for like the bodyweight specialist, I'd love some. Have you got some? Because you've already said that you've spoken to Grid about the inaccuracy in how an aerial is called. So,
Yes.
have you also suggested any body weight ringers that you'd like to see show up?
Honestly, no, I haven't.
Are there any?
I haven't deep dived into any ringers. We have someone that's gonna mention some. Do I know exactly what they are yet? No, we haven't
Does
delved
he have the initials JN by any chance?
into it. How did you guess? Who would
I don't
know?
know. I don't know. I don't know.
Um, but I thought it was really cool that they did do like a side aerial hurdle one. I wanted to do that. I'm not gonna lie. My coaches
Oh,
and
there we
everybody
go.
do that on my team. Don't worry, I love y'all.
Yeah.
Um,
Were they able to justify why you didn't?
they were, and that was
Oh,
perfectly fine. I'm a happy camper. You explained why. We're good. No hard feelings. um, but something we had talked about that was making the hurdles higher. Just because speed wise, like majority of the people are going to do them the same. It's same speed. I mean, the fastest I think I got it was like 7.
mhm.
Um, and I think even someone on the brigade was faster than I was. So it's like, oh gosh, okay, well, whoever's the fastest, you got it. So, but I haven't came up with anything specifically. But I know one thing that they had been dropping at one point was burpee, box jump over, backflip. So burpee, box jump up, backflip
Oh,
off the box.
backflip off the box.
Off the box, yeah. Don't know if I'm supposed to spill that tea, but I did.
Well, this is live, so nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. But that was
Well, I mean,
one that wasn't
if
taught.
yeah. Well, if you know, how did you find out? Who told you?
It was on my sheets.
Oh, there you go. I mean, that's out to the public now.
Yeah, surely.
Well, that stuff gets misplaced all the time, and people pick it up, and it's how like scripts get leaked and stuff like that. That's absolutely
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, I imagine there's not quite the same level of security around it as there is with sort of
Yeah.
the next Marvel movie script.
Right. Exactly. Billy.
The good news for Sabrina is when it comes to gymnastics, it's either me or her, and she's better 99% of the time.
I think that's false. I think her and I complimented each other, if I gotta be honest. I think having another person who is able to just go out there and do triple touches or help with double touches or stuff like that with strategy, with echoes, having one person do something, another person doing another. I think we complemented each other very well, and we're able to help each other if needed. Because even at playoffs, I could tell you, I went up to her right before that triad and I said, I'm supposed to do 6 handstand deficit push-ups. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not happening right now. Can you do 3? And she's like, yeah.
She said, "I'll give you 2. If you could do 4."
She gave me 3. She gave me 3. So
That's kind of a
helpful. I guess that's one thing I'll say with the judging with those. Ooh, don't let me get into that. Because when a judge
hun
holds this up and we only have 6 to begin with, I'm confused. But hey.
So I assumed your issue with the judging was gonna be, like, "Oh, because they're saying I'm not locked out here, or they're saying I'm leaning on this." No, your problem is that they can't count.
Yes.
That's the issue.
Oh, yes.
Or
Absolutely.
or at least they can't use their fingers to count. That seems to be the problem.
Right. And
Yeah.
that is one thing, like, I won't blame the judges for an outcome,
No.
by any means, because, like, especially for us for playoffs, we made so many mistakes. Yeah, we could say, judges here, judges there, but we should make things, as clear as possible.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you go back and you watch the video, you see the judges, like, one person does one and they hold a 7 up, and I was like, why are they holding 7? We only had 6, right? And they were like, yeah. Okay. Well, this person did 4 and this person did 1. That's 5. How many more do we have? That doesn't equal 6. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe math is hard sometimes.
I mean, it is.
Grateful for everybody. Grateful
Yeah.
for all of the refs, everybody who's able to
Giving up their time and energy to
give
travel
up
to
their
these
time to be
events
there.
to
I can't even count myself while I'm out there, if I'm being honest. That's
yeah.
why we look to the judges most of the time. We're like, wait, what number am I on? So
Yeah.
grateful for
It's
everybody.
always tricky because then there's always that thing of like, "Oh, but you should know
Right.
your own reps,"
Your own
and
path.
it's always a bit weird, and different competitions do it different ways because you've seen events, big events where an athlete has sort of been told they had 2 more reps, like 2 more rope climbs to do, and they're
Right.
like, no, I've done all the rope climbs, I'm done, and
Yeah.
they move on, and at that point they have to make a decision of,
Mhm.
am I going to do 2 more rope climbs
Yeah.
and then finish the workout afterwards, and then have to appeal and
Mhm.
maybe get some time kind of given back,
Yeah.
or but it's always that hard thing of like, if the next couple of movements,
Right.
how much did those extra 2 rope climbs slow you down on that? And
Right.
is that factored in when they're giving you time back? Or are
Mhm.
they just saying, oh, we'll just remove the time of the 2 rope
Me
climbs? And
too.
you're like,
Yeah.
well, I could have done the other movements faster if I wasn't tired from doing the rope climb. So then
Exactly.
they decide, maybe, okay, I'm going to risk it. I'm not going to do the 2 rope climbs the judge is telling me to do. I'm going
Yeah.
to go and finish the workout. And at the end, I'm going to appeal and say, look,
Yeah.
uh, but you've got to really be confident that I
Yeah.
definitely didn't get no rep. I definitely, like, everything was fine.
Right.
And with grid, and then you take grid, and it's just moving so fast, and and
Yeah.
and and especially when you're sharing reps at times,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh, I'm pretty sure she did 3 reps, so I should
Yeah.
only have 3 left. Oh, maybe she only did 2. I don't
Right.
know. Like, it's quite hard to,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway,
Especially when you have 2 different people, or in our case, we ended up having 3 people on a station. So you're like, wait, okay, this person did this many. Ugh. So definitely is hard all over the place a little bit.
yeah. What's your favorite part of being on a grid team? I don't say the team, don't say all the friendships and stuff like that. Playing grid, then let's be more specific.
Okay.
During a grid match, what's your favorite part? Don't say
I'll,
dancing, because that's
I'll give you
skeleton.
the first thing you said, just because it popped in my head. Co-ed, having
Right.
guys and girls.
Yeah.
Just because of that was the first thing that popped in my head, because I have been on, gymnastics, and it was all females. So I feel like it's actually really cool to do men and female and have that like different camaraderie. Because I mean, yeah, us having a whole bunch of girls, it gets very bickery, I guess I'll say. I'll admit it. We're hard to deal with sometimes. Not saying men aren't, but having a team of 20 some girls versus half guys, half girls. So I think that is one of my favorite things. I feel like we're able to complement each other out on the grid a good bit. But I like how really fast paced grid is. Which is kind of opposite for me, because I like long workouts. I'm better at
Right.
those 40, 30-minute long drawn out workouts. But I think grid is just able to complement each person and like what they can really do. So like, again, for me, I might not be the strongest, but I'm able to go out there and do the gymnastics, or do, the stuff that I've learned, the triple touches, the complexes and stuff like that. But then it also kind of gives you a goal. Okay, like I can get better at this, or oh, maybe I want to be a utility player and I need to get stronger so I can hit these numbers. So being able to have goals, doing what you're best at, and then kind of having that co-ed in there, I think complements everybody.
Yeah. It's interesting because I think, like, you're doing so you've got a CrossFit competition coming up. That's a team. Is that a
Yeah.
mixed team?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so even, within CrossFit events, you'll have a mixed team,
Yep.
but still it's not the same, because either the team will all be doing, like, if it's a worm or something, like all the team will be going, or it will be, the women have this to do and the men have this to do, or like it's
Yeah.
still kind of, whereas, like, particularly on the sprint relay, for example,
Mhm.
you know choose your own adventure on who's doing what, right? So
Exactly.
you will see the guys going against the girls on the
Mhm.
same movement, and when you get to see, some of these girls just absolutely smoke them, you're like, well, okay,
Right.
there you go. That's um my only it's not even a complaint. My only observation
Okay.
is, if you have some really strong girls,
Mhm.
I think there's a massive advantage on barbell movements if you've got some strong girls, because when will be like, the girls are cleaning when you're using the same barbell, and
Yep.
so it's like, for the girls, they've got to clean it. For
Mhm.
the guys, they've got to do a cluster. You're
Right.
like, that's not fair. That's so much less
Yeah.
movement. You
Mhm.
can, they can do 5 reps in the time the other person's done 3 if they're really fast, but
Right.
maybe 2.
Yeah.
Um, so if you've got a lot of, a good number of strong women that can move the barbell, sometimes that's look at this, I'm 100% accurate. I can't help myself. I'm sorry, serious. Yeah, sometimes.
I do
So
have to agree. I think
yeah,
having those strong women on the team is definitely going to help, especially in that aspect. If that's a last movement, like it was, with, like you said, the cleans or the thrusters, clusters, how many you have with that shorter movement times. So you have, that stronger female who can move less and then kind of have, the guy take it off a little bit, but then try and give it
yeah,
back to the female just because it's going to be quicker.
yeah.
So definitely I would agree having a
Which we're not allowed to complain about because obviously you've got Vida on your team.
Yeah, you're right. Spring special of the year. I mean, what can I say?
So obviously some teams it's a great advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a strong girl is much more beneficial than a strong guy comparatively. There we are. Facts.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree
If
with
Arthur
that.
says it must be true, so I must be correct. Wow,
Yeah,
wonderful.
you must be right.
Good. Yeah, but it's like, and I mean, we're talking of range of movement. If anyone knows about the disadvantage of having a longer range of movement, it's going to be Arthur, right?
I agree. Tallest player in grid.
Yeah, it's a big boy. Okay, no, so the co-ed nature of that's interesting because that's something that if you watch like the kind of grid promotional video on YouTube or on Instagram, it's like, what is grid? And they really highlight the co-ed nature.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see that someone actually playing is like, oh, that's something that really appealed to me.
Yeah.
Was that the fact that it's co-ed? Yeah, and it's it's nice, like the ringer points and stuff when you're getting to see that is always fun with the guy v girl.
Girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Other thing, and then but then or sometimes I quite like also with like the triads getting to see on a team, like, because that's the only time you kind of split it and seeing like, oh, the girls of the breakers absolutely demolished that. They destroyed the other team.
Right.
What happened to the guys? Like, why couldn't they do it as far, or something, or vice versa?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting thing to Billy says that 100% women's weights need to be heavier, unfortunately.
We not make them heavier, Billy. Do not give them ideas, please.
Yeah, well, it's something that's been thrown around a lot. Also by one of the people on your team as well, is probably a strong advocate for that.
Oh, yes, he is. And don't worry, I tell him all the time, please just.
Yeah.
I'm actually like kind of hitting the second bar. Like I might hit the third one. Like, come on.
Oh, see, that's my
body weight specialist is hitting the third bar. We have a problem. I'm like, okay.
Well, that is it, isn't it? That's the constant sort of. I mean, we've talked about the ladders a lot on this show. I have my theories. I want people to be failing ladders way more, and I know, and I've heard Mava's reasoning, and I know why the ladders are the way they are, and they want for the spectacle, more people are making it. But I just think seeing someone hit a bar that I've watched 5 people fail, is so much more like, that's the wow factor. Like, oh, they did it. Having whole teams clear, like the whole team clear the ladder, that makes me suspicious that maybe that ladder isn't, because I also think that like the strong. So you're a bodyweight specialist.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's by far the most, like, I was trying to think of a word, and I think I'm trying to invent a word while thinking of it, but it's basically the one that gets on the reels and goes, and gets the most views. Is the crazy bodyweight stuff, right? Because it's because unless you understand how heavy a barbell is,
right,
it's not that impressive to be like, oh, they did this with the barbell. You think, I think I can do that, and then you're like, do you understand how heavy that barbell is? Like, why that's what they're doing is so hard. Whereas, when they see you doing aerials over hurdles down the grid, most people are going, whoa, I couldn't do that. And then we talk about the stuff happening on the rings, and it's like, okay, so I feel like our poor strength specialists, they need something to highlight how good they are. And the ladder should be their moment of triumph.
moment of
Yeah. where
No.
they're like, "Oh, look at those bodyweight specialists struggling with the first bar. Look
Right.
at those utility players getting maybe the second and third bar,
Right.
and then they come and clear the fourth bar, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm a strength specialist."
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, they did up the what was it deadlift clean for
Mm.
championships. They had up that. Um, so
Yes.
I think it's good. Of course, we're us bodyweight specialists are like, oh, let me see if I can hit the second or third bar. That'd be so cool. But yeah, I agree.
It's so funny because that is the thing that, like, everyone wants to do the ladder. It's so weird that it's the thing that everyone is just like, "Oh, I just wanna be able to do the ladder."
He's just always something that you want to do that you can't do. Like
Yeah.
having something that you're like, oh, I can't do that. Now I know it's like, oh, well, I need to figure out how I can do that. Like
Yeah,
how
but
do
again, I think that falls back to the nature of, like, why, like, it's, the bodyweight specialists kind of, you fit into this special thing because
yeah,
I don't think the utility players or the strength specialists are being like, "Oh, I really hope I get to do a ring to handstand," you
right,
know, because, like, that they just know that that's not happening for them, probably, most
right,
of them.
yeah,
Um, but you're like, "Well, I can do deadlift clean. I
right,
can do that, and I
yeah,
can do it with some of those weights." And so
yeah,
if I just get stronger,
hmm
I can do it with some of those other like, it's such a simple progression. I mean, it's not simple because anybody who's tried to get stronger knows it's
right.
really hard,
Takes
but
time.
in your brain, it's like, "Oh, all I need to do is get stronger.
Yeah,
That's it. I can do the movement, I just need to
hmm
get stronger." Versus, first I need to learn how to be in a handstand on a ring. Then
yeah,
I need to learn how to do kind of get from the bottom of a dead hang straight up
yeah,
into a handstand on the ring. Now
yeah,
I need to learn how do I drop down from a handstand and then swing myself back up into.
yeah,
There's so many more steps that they're like, "Oh,
hmm
and not fall and like land on my head at the same time."
right, yeah. I know. No, I was definitely the most excited to do aerials. I will
Yeah.
100% say that. Last season when I didn't do it, I just kept posting them like, oh, look at me. I'm still here. I'm not doing grid, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'll do them next season when I'm on the breakers. No, oh yeah. I actually didn't.
Now I have a question. Now I have
Okay,
a
go
question.
ahead. Let me
When
hear it.
did you know you were gonna join the Breakers?
There it is. That's actually what I was going to. Late March.
Late March. Okay.
Started in May.
Yeah. So the previous season when you were sitting out the season, okay, did you think you were going back to grid?
I didn't know necessarily.
Okay.
I knew I enjoyed it. I knew that, I wanted to be involved somehow. I had even considered maybe making a team. Thought about that a little, talked to a couple people with that, but with school, I had veered away from it. Um, my friends on the Venom also went to the Breakers, and they had been talking with them, signed with them. So that's kind of how I got involved a little bit more with them. But personally, I was worried I wouldn't be able to be my very best because I was out on clinicals.
Right.
Wasn't able to train like I should have been, wasn't able to do all those things. So I didn't want to give them, hey, yeah, I'm going to do this. They knew what I could do, and then I couldn't do it, which is
Right.
crazy because I ended up being way better than what I did before. So I think that was pretty cool. Like I kind of impressed myself. But yeah, no, I didn't sign my OI till the end of March.
Okay. So the fact that you've not signed yet doesn't actually mean anything, really, because if Billy keeps phoning you, keeps hounding you, eventually,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'll get a
I
message.
think she's just going to spend the next like couple of months perfecting your signature,
Probably. She probably will. She's like,
and
hey,
then she'll sign it on your behalf and be like, "Oh, sorry, did you know?"
yeah, yeah, no. We did talk. I was like, you signing next year? Are you signing next year? Like
Yeah.
before we left, are you doing it? I'm doing it. We're doing it. Okay. So,
Okay. Who do I need to speak to find? Is it Matt? I suppose I need to speak to Matt to find out who's signed already.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Another person to book in on this show.
It'd be a good person to talk.
Or maybe a private conversation might get me more
Yeah,
information, to be honest.
probably.
Yeah, I'm surprised how much information for the next season has already come out this season, like so far.
Yeah,
We've not even finished 2025 and
right.
we already know quite a lot.
Yeah. No,
Message her daily, don't worry.
I am too, for sure. I am too, for sure. Because since I started Grid, it's kind of started early and earlier because it was like, oh, it
Mhm.
started in July and then it started in June, or it's just been pushed up more and more because then our first match was May, June, May. But so I feel like they just keep making things early and earlier. But now it's like being able to find out who's on the team like now and then being able to perfect it. So I think that's like what was kind of cool. I wasn't involved as much because I didn't know I was doing it until the end of March. But like, the Breakers had camp and then they had practices. And then, we were able to like work out with each other a lot more, go through everything a lot more. We knew what each other could do. So I think that was really cool knowing who could do what. We had all these practices. We know how we act. We know how we transition. And then being able to build upon that is like one main thing I would say like led to the success of the Breakers.
You guys look like you were having a lot of fun the whole time as well. Like it seemed, I don't know. I feel like regardless of the result this season,
Yeah.
even if after you'd won like the first two matches,
Mm-hmm.
you'd lost the next two, it still seemed like you were, having a great time.
Yeah.
The fact that you were just able to win more
Right.
matches, make it to the playoffs, it
Mm-hmm.
just feels like it just felt like such a nice arc for the Breakers,
Yeah.
especially considering the previous seasons that had not even been close to
Yeah. I,
as special.
I
So
definitely, I think that's definitely also one of the things that helped was that we all just meshed really well together.
yeah.
Like there was no bickering on the side or drama like that. We truly wanted to lift each other up. So it was like, hey, like I need to know your time because, if I want to be better or I want to push each other, it was good feedback. It was good. Like
Mhm.
we were able to actually want to be better for each other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you have a faster time. Oh, I'm gonna try to beat your time. Oh man, I gotta like it was fun. It wasn't like, oh, she's gonna take my spot or oh no, I'm better. It was no stinginess, no any of that. We all wanted each other to be better because we wanted our team to be better. It wasn't just about us. It was we want the team to be better. We want to make it here. What can we do? But we all lifted each other up. It was honestly so much fun. We all wanted to hang out with each other. We wanted to be with each other. It wasn't like a burden, like, oh my gosh, I have to see these people of any sort or anything. We all wanted, hey, where we staying? Airbnb? What hotel you get in? Like we getting dinner? So it was exciting. We meshed well, and I think that's one of the biggest thing with our hashtags is those who stay. So if we all keep staying, we can grow
Yeah.
together.
Well, I don't know if you'll be allowed to use that hashtag next year if you don't sign again.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Matt will come get me. It's okay.
Yeah. They'll be like those who come back. That'll be the following year. Yeah.
Right.
But as we said, we don't know. Billy, keep working on that. Let's just park that for a second, just as we sort of start to wrap things up a little bit. So obviously you've got Beach Brawl coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You love the beach. I've noticed that as well. I feel like you're a beach person. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
Is that why you and Shay get on quite well, I assume, then? Because you're so
Oh yeah.
obsessed with the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other competitions coming up? Have you got your eye on anything or
Not yet. I don't
not yet?
have anything planned yet. Don't have any goals in that aspect. Yes, I love the beach. I grew up in Daytona. So Daytona Beach, Port Orange
There we
area.
go.
I was only 3 miles from the beach. So definitely grew up beach girl, love surfing, loved it. But don't have any of that. I graduate in school in April.
Right.
So that'll be kind of me still working on that, but training for grid, CrossFit. Maybe I'll be able to dabble a little bit in some CrossFit comps, but nothing's set in stone yet.
Would that be Okay. Billy, cover your ears. Would that be something you'd be more likely to do if you have to sit out this season? So you're like, okay, I'm sitting out this season, but to kind of keep myself competitive, to keep myself motivated to have something to train for,
Yeah.
I'll sign up to a couple of competitions that aren't gonna impact. Well, if you're finishing, your education, like going into the next steps
Yeah.
basically of your career, it's
Yeah.
not going to impact that too much. It's going to allow me to do the things I need to do, but it gives me kind of a weekend to train for, and then I can go to this event that's not too far away. Because I
Yeah.
guess the some of the grid matches aren't too far, but
Mhm.
others will be. So there's a lot of commitments to travel, to training, to getting together with the team, things like that.
Yeah.
So do you think that, and then if you're not doing grid, we might see you a little bit more at random competitions?
Yeah.
If you're doing grid, is that going to be like the big commitment then, and we're probably not going to see you at other events?
I think either way, I'll kind of dabble in some CrossFit comps, and you'll see me at those events.
Yeah.
But I want it to be focused more on grid. I definitely want to keep, I want to get out there in rings more. I want to get out there in other things more and be able to get better in that, more stamina and movement. So I'm definitely going to kind of focus on grid, but
Right.
still do some CrossFit stuff, still do, getting stronger and stuff. But I think my main focus will be grid. As again, this is my first CrossFit comp, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I love that. Like we're assuming it's going to go well because you do well in grid, but it would be so funny if it was like this was the worst competitive experience of my life.
Life,
Gymnastics, grid, this and that. I am never stepping foot on a CrossFit competition
CrossFit,
again. All those questions he asked me, irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
exactly.
I don't care that Billy needs a partner for this event. But I also like the
Honored if
idea
she asked me to be your partner.
I like the idea that you can't kind of test your strength in grid. So being like, I'll sign up for a few CrossFit competitions because there's, a max clean event, or there's a, this or that. And it's letting me kind of play with some heavier weights that on the grid, they would tell me stay away from them. They're not for you.
Right.
Would we see you? So this is, is that Rookie of the Year, Nathan Cobb?
There's Rookie of the Year, Nathan Cobb.
Oh.
He is one of my partners at Beach Brawl.
He's one of your partners. Oh, Nathan. Congratulations, Nathan. Yeah. Beyond that, I don't know what to say. Congratulations. Well done. Excellent job. Here we are. Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. That's what I say. You were saying earlier, it felt like a championship team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a championship player right there. Hey?
Oh, yeah.
Very good. If hypothetically, Billy, you don't come back for a season, you need to take a season off because of these other commitments.
Mm-hmm.
Would you post your training, or would you have the temptation to just go dark and like we don't see you practicing on the rings for an entire year basically, and then you come back to grid and we're like, there's a backwards roll to support, 5 backwards roll to support for time. Who's going to do that? And it's Sabrina Cheney. Oh, really? How? I don't know. Is she good on the rings? How good is she on the rings? And then you just absolutely smash the rings, and we're like, oh, could we see that happening? I think that would be fun.
I think that would.
I don't think your sponsors would like it, but I would like it.
I think I would definitely maybe kind of be like, oh look, I can do some muscle ups more, and maybe that's it. I wouldn't
just post barbell stuff.
Yeah,
for a year,
they're gonna
just all lifting, and be like, oh, really? That's crazy, And then and then you can have them make the mistake they made with Eric at the start of the season when they said he was a strength specialist.
Yeah.
So we come in and it's like Sabrina Cheney, strength specialist.
Yeah.
Like, number 01 instead of number 10. We really flip everything.
Yeah.
And then rings come out. Sabrina Cheney out, smashes it.
Yeah. Very confused.
She's back.
Hey, I really am not on the rings. I'm not a ring girly. I can do those side rolls.
No. You're not a ring girly
Yet.
now. But
Yet.
we're saying hypothetically there's a year.
Right.
A
Exactly.
year of training. Yeah, okay. Well, have fun. Have fun with that year. We've got to make it entertaining somehow.
Right.
So, you're graduating, I was going to say soon.
April.
Yeah. So like 7 or so months, really, 7 or 8 months. Yeah, it's still, it's like half a year.
Yeah, we
Quite
still
a
got
while.
time. Still got time.
Okay, well, we're looking forward to that. You've got at least one CrossFit competition coming up.
Yep.
Anything else we should be looking forward to between now and the next time we see you?
I don't think so.
Is that it?
Yeah, I'm just trucking along. Hopefully, sneak it out on the rings, like you said.
Yeah.
But other
Okay.
than that, no. Just working on little things at a time.
Little things at a time. All right. Would you rather become a master on the rings or be used in the ladder?
Master on the rings.
Okay, very good. That is the correct answer. Just in case any of the breakers come back to listen to the rest of this.
Right.
Like, we don't need someone else doing the ladder.
Yeah. No, it'd definitely
Yeah.
be cool to be able to be on. I kind of avoided the rings a little bit for a while. I don't love them, but
No?
I mean,
Is that because you didn't do them as a gymnast?
I would think so, yeah. We don't touch the rings at all.
Yeah.
We had bars and stuff. Envy Paul Elias for being able to do what she can do on the rings. Oh, I like in awe.
Okay.
But
Paula is I don't know. She's so there were like all the calisthenic guys that were there at the thing. So at the end, I've got some video actually. I need to post up. They were doing like these different, I don't know what they call, like the levers and all of that kind of stuff on the bar and all the different things.
yeah,
And they got her to like have a go, and she was doing certain stuff. And this guy's like going, I think there's only 2 women in all of America that can do this, and
she's
you're like almost there doing it. And I was
right.
like, yeah. And she's played not 1, but 2 matches
Right.
already. And yeah,
Mhm.
she is.
Different breed.
I don't know. I mean, it makes me sick, but
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get there.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm still young. We discussed that earlier.
Yeah, you are.
I've got loads of time. Okay, very good. Well, so that's what you've got coming up. Hopefully, we'll see you. We will definitely see you back on the grid.
You will see me.
We will see you back on the grid.
Yeah.
What's interesting, we don't know if it will be this year, or if it will be next year, if it will be the year
Everybody on
after,
the toes.
if it will be you doing aerials down the grid, if it will be you, doing yokes down the grid,
Oh yeah.
or on the sidelines coaching, and or if you've started your own team, because apparently once upon a time that was a possibility.
Hey, once upon a time I had a whole logo and everything.
Oh, now okay, hold on then. Whoa.
Uh-oh.
What was the team name?
Silverback Gorillas.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
The Miami
Yeah.
Silverbacks.
The Miami Silverbacks. Yeah, I like it.
That was the little thing that popped in my head.
Which I love, which feels like a strength specialist team.
Yeah. Well, the strength specialist helped me come up with it.
Oh, of course, yeah. You could be the, like the capuchin, the little monkeys that like swing around.
Yeah. That was have to be on the logo. If the gorillas and the
Video.
monkeys around it.
Okay. Well, I still have this theory, and we should have. I said we're wrapping up, but I've got to. I'll say it again because I'm going to keep saying it until somebody gives me a straight answer on this. There has to be another team. Do you know anything about this?
I don't.
You don't, or when I hit end stream, you'll suddenly remember something. That's.
I don't know.
Yeah, just because currently we haven't. If all the teams that were there this year come back,
Yep.
and I believe they are, I haven't heard of any teams disbanding.
No.
We have an additional team. We now have an odd number of teams.
Yep.
Now, I'm not a genius. I think that's been well established, but that doesn't work for me. I don't see how that works.
Yeah.
So, what's happening? Tell me. Tell me what's happening.
I mean, I know there's a bunch of little contenders. I think it just depends on who fits best into grid.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know anything for sure though.
I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to an owner like Eric Cardona.
Probably. He'd be a good one to chat with. Hey, you're an owner now. Let me get the details.
Oh, I messaged him immediately when I saw that, and I was like, "So finally, I have an in, right? Like now, I should know all the secrets. Like I should know all the secrets that
Right.
happen in the Lions at this point. That's what I assume this friendship that I've built over the last couple of years equates to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
get the
we'll see.
inside now.
Currently, I know nothing. So
I think everybody's starting to figure it out a little bit here and there.
yeah. All right. Okay. Well, excellent. Speaking of teams that are, I assume, coming back next season, next week on Thursday, I think about an hour earlier than we started today. So whatever time it was for you, wherever you are, just think back an hour before that. I will have from the Bandits coach, owner, and player Sophia Davenport. So I'm going to find out what's going on with the Bandits, how their season went, and what's happening next year. So if people want to come back for that, please do. You're more than welcome.
All the insight.
Yeah. There might also be another show either before that or after that sometime. I need to work it out. I've got BKG coming back on. We're going to talk about him now being an owner at Reykjavik. So that's exciting. I sent him an email. He sent me a reply saying what time, and I haven't replied. I need to reply. So I'm going to do that probably now. I'm a busy man. You know that. But thank you again, Sabrina. Thank you, everyone. Billy, keep messaging her. And you got anything to add as we wrap up, Billy? No, we've said it all, right?
I appreciate you having me on the show.
I appreciate you coming on the show. Unlike other people that were too busy, going off all around Europe to come on the show.
Traveling the world. I need to be heard.
No names. She's also sent me a message asking what my schedule is like next week. I haven't replied, so there's another one. But I'm
hey,
get on that as well.
It's a good thing. We all want to get on here and talk.
I love it. Actually, I wish I had more time. That's the problem. Sponsors. Right. Someone sponsor me so I can drop an extra day of work and then I can have more time. But until that happens, this is what you get. You get one a week and about 20 players on a team and too many teams, and that's too many people.
Right.
And also CrossFit and stuff like that as well.
Everything else.
Yeah. Oh, I've also remembered another person that I was meant to book in and I haven't.
I'm just helping remind you. Go write it down.
Yeah, I will write it all down right now. Okay. Well, thank you again, Sabrina. Thank you, everybody. And